The purpose of this video is to demonstrate how to calculate net present value, internal rate of return, and profitability index using Excel. If we look at this particular example, we've got 5 years of inflows and 1 outflow immediately, year 0. We have a project cost of capital of 5%. Calculating the net present value uses the NPV function in Excel. So I'll click on the cell. It equals NPV per N. Now you want the rate, which would be in decimal form. I've already got it as 5%, so it'll register as decimal form. So that's cell B4. And then we have the values, and we're going to take all the inflows, anything after period 0. And this is very important and helps distinguish this particular function from internal rate of return. We're going to close the parentheses, and then we're going to also add the outflow, which occurs at time period 0, or today. Entering that, we end up with a positive net present value of $3,958.25. Internal rate of return is a little bit different. You'll use the IRR function, but this time what you're going to do is include all the cash flows from time period 0 onward in the project. You can put a guess in. Now, if you have a complex set of cash flows, you can input a guess and it'll help it converge. In most cases, you do not need to put a guess in there. If, however, you have multiple sign changes, or if you have an extensively long list of inflows and outflows, you may need to put a guess in there to help it converge. But usually you don't. So we close this out, hit enter, and we've got the internal rate of return of 6.405%. The profitability index, as it's commonly used, is the ratio of the present value of the inflows to the present value of the outflows. So what we need to do there is simply take a ratio of the net present values. So we have equals NPV. Again, use the rate at B4. We have the inflows from periods 1 through 5. Close out the parentheses. And now what we're going to do is divide it by the present value of the outflows. Now there's only one outflow in this example, and that's at time period 0. If there's more than one, we would need to calculate the present value of each of these outflows and add them up. Now because the outflow is indicated as a negative value, we want to take that away in this denominator. So I'm going to put parentheses here, and then we can either multiply cell C7 by -1, or simply put in minus C7 to indicate a negative value for that. Then we take the ratio and we get 1.039582518. And this is consistent with the other answers. The net present value is positive, internal rate of return is greater than the project's cost of capital, and the profitability index is greater than 1.